Kia ora, I'm Miriam Makamo. A gold rush. In the 1800s, the West Coast went mad with miners searching for those elusive flakes, hoping for a golden strike. Now we're at it again, sluicing, dredging and digging, and for good reason. The global pandemic's created a lucrative spike in gold prices, so everyone, from major operations to the locals, is going for gold. Rebecca Wright goes to our prospecting frontier.
Nothing matters when you've got the fever. You can be blue, cold, bitten by sandflies to death, and it won't matter because you're chasing the gold.
And on the coast, it is taking hold.
What's a gold fever like?
You'll see them, they've got the fever. And they're looking up river, looking up river, looking up river. They can't wait to get back out there again.
It's an addictive,
You're always wanting more gold. It is, you do get the bug.
highly secretive business.
Have you got a little bit stashed away?
No, I haven't.
Are you sure? Would you tell me even if you did?
No.
Because there's never been a better time to be in the hunt.
So you're called the Kiwi Gold Hunter.
That's correct, yep.
Darren Coker's a new generation of fossicker.
Right across the West Coast at the moment, people are out there giving it a go, aren't they?
Oh, they sure are. Everyone's out and about.
Inspired by overseas gold hunting shows.
How did you get into this?
And saw a lot of the international guys from Canada, the States, Australia, and thought, oh, why don't I try that in my own backyard, see if I can find some gold here. What's up?
Now this amateur hobbyist is making his own videos.
What's been your biggest haul?
My biggest day would be just over 2 grams. And my biggest nugget being 1.6 grams. I was in disbelief when I found it because it's the largest piece I've found in my pan so far.
What keeps you coming back?
The gold, of course, the dream of that big nugget, the big paycheck. So
It's a little bit like playing lotto.
it is, yes, you've got to be in it to win it. So got gold in here. Stoked.
What's the dream?
I'd love to get on a dredge and get out there and do some scuba diving and suck up some of the alluvial stuff from the riverbeds deep down, yeah.
As we discover, everybody in the gold game always wants more. Meet hobbyist dredger Gordon Storer.
The Buller River is a wild river.
This is your spot. We're deep in the wild West Coast.
Welcome to our claim. It's 49 hectares, about 8 kilometres long, and one of the best spots in the world to be finding gold and spending time in the environment.
A small-time prospector with a permit to mine this stretch of the riverbed.
Gordon, when did you get the gold bug?
I grew up in Angahua, so a lot of the old boys did gold back then. As your kids grow up, you get to a point where, what am I going to do with my life? So I decided I wanted to move back to the coast and take up gold.
Do you think we're going to find gold today?
We will find gold today. Yep, it's here. It's in the rivers. It always has been. If you're lucky enough to find a seam, yep, you'll strike it rich.
And he's hoping to cash in on the spiking price of gold.
So it's all about controlling the water flow.
So there's a lot of global instability at the moment, isn't there, Gordon? And you are, in a weird way, you're seeing a silver lining here.
We are. Might see if I find a flatter rock, actually. People stop investing into stock markets and invest into the fundamentals of society, effectively gold. And don't get me wrong, we don't want to see world instability because that is bad, but there is, effectively a soldier of fortune.
At nearly 3,000 New Zealand dollars an ounce, the potential for profit is up 30% on a year ago.
The only thing that stops you probably on the West Coast is good old sandflies. That will stop you. We've been driven off the river by sandflies where we've been mothered in repellent and they're still biting your eyelid. So this big rock area here, as the flood comes through it, it'll create a natural riffle and swell, and hopefully the gold will be underneath. Dig it down, get that, and you're going to spread it to the top.
I mean, the technology hasn't changed probably all that much.
It hasn't. The only thing that's changed is what we make it out of because it's so much lighter. The old boys were dealing with big, heavy steel, timber. Nowadays, it's all backpack stuff.
Sluicing is how Gordon got started, but his operation quickly evolved in a Mad Max sort of fashion. He and a few mates built this dredge from scratch for $17,000.
This is a pretty serious operation you've got running here.
Yes, this is a rather large dredge.
But it's homemade.
It is homemade, yes, very much so. You can buy a proper air tank for about $600–700. We went down to pretty much the rubbish tip, found someone that had thrown out an air compressor and then fitted that up.
What would you get on a day with this?
That unfortunately it's about the fourth time you've asked that question. I'm going to give you the same answer, which is keep trying.
Cloak and dagger business, isn't it, gold?
Oh, yes and no. It is more a case of how much you're getting, because if you're finding a lot of gold, you'll suddenly find yourself with a lot of poachers. We get good days and bad days. Some days you pick up a gram, even though you've done a whole day, you're just obviously in the wrong spot. And some days you can pick up a couple of ounces.
Yeah, what's the dream, Gordon?
Basically from nothing, yep, we've built up to hopefully one day get to the bigger boys. But the one thing you don't do with gold is don't go into debt, because if you don't find the gold, you've still got the debt.
One of the biggest boys on the coast is the man I'm going to meet next, and he knows more about making money from gold than most.
Have you got a little bit stashed away?
No, I haven't.
Are you sure? Would you tell me even if you did?
No.
It's very secretive business, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Alan Birchfield's family has been digging and excavating for generations.
Can you tell me what you earn in a year?
I've been gold mining about 40 years, and I've probably produced over 2 tonne of gold in my lifetime.
I'm trying to work out how much that is in my head.
It's 62,000 ounces at $3,000 an ounce. It's a hell of a figure.
That is $186 million.
Yeah.
That's what you've pulled through your mine in your 40 years.
Yeah, that's at today's price.
That's a huge amount of money and gold.
Yeah.
And you think there's much more up there in the hills?
And there's a lot more there. I haven't started yet.
I might start, Alan.
We haven't scratched the surface.
What are your costs in terms of getting it out?
Probably more than that. That's why I'm still here.
Alan's mining private land, first mined during the original gold rush.
Even at best ground, sometimes we'd move 1,000 tonne of material to get an ounce. Gold is very rare in the earth, and it's getting harder to get.
And mostly, it's not big corporations mining down here.
The majority of the alluvial gold mines are family businesses, like father and son, like we are.
So your dad started,
Yeah,
he passed it on to you,
yeah,
and you've just passed it on to Chris.
yeah.
Looks like it's all done. So you go from a digger
Yeah,
to a sieve.
yeah.
It's extraordinary, isn't it? Oh yeah, I can see. There's some shiny yellow bits.
Yeah. Gold is about a teaspoonful to the ounce.
Well, thanks for helping. Normally I've got to do this myself.
You're very welcome. It's extraordinary that you've dug all day, and this is what
Just comes
we've come down
that.
to.
And that's probably not a bad day, really, looking at that. Sometimes you can dig all day and you turn the water off and there's nil there.
So that's not a great feeling.
No, it's not really. But it can go the other way too. So I'd say that's probably a little bit over 50% gold.
People at home are going to think this is a tiny amount.
Yeah, it's.
But that's the business.
That's it, really. Let's say if there's 2 ounces there, that's $6,000.
Is that a good day?
It's all right. We get that every day. That's 10 ounces a week. $30,000. So
Not
yeah,
bad.
Just another day at the office, pretty much.
Focus on that if that's the case.
And just like Darren, who wants a dredge,
Bigger nuggets and smaller nuggets.
and Gordon, who wants a digger, Alan has his eye on his next step as well.
It's very difficult to get access into 86% of the West Coast, where most of the gold is.
You want to go into Dockland?
Yes, there's huge potential. With the price of gold, it is. And gold is currency. You can dig it out of the ground one day, put it in the bank the next. And there's enough around here to pay the national debt, but we can't get access to it.
Because it's Dockland.
There's Dockland.
There will be people watching the television right now who will be saying, you can't do this to Dockland.
And a lot of it's not pristine land. A lot of it's been logged and mined before. It's not pristine. And really for the sake of the country, we should be getting that mineral out.
How do you fix that? Can you
Well,
fix
we
that?
need the Greens out of government.
Are they popular around here, Alan?
No, the Greens are not popular on the West
Okay.
Coast.
Okay.
However, there is an abundance of local political will for mining here.
Do you think you get a hard time from the people in the cities?
We get such a hard time.
You're in quite a fight.
We are in a real battle, and it's very tough sometimes.
Meet Grey District Mayor Tanya Gibson.
Do you think we've got the environmental and the extraction balance right?
I think we have, and I think it's misunderstood. As I say, if I challenge anybody to come down here and drive in either direction and see any sign of mining, because you just won't.
The Blackwater mine, abandoned in the 1950s, is about to reopen, ultimately creating more than 100 jobs.
We're very proud, and don't let anyone tell you that mining and extractive minerals are over, because they're not.
And I think there's a lot more underneath.
They do. In 25 years or so, I think they mine 1.6 billion, and they intend to do that soon, in 10 years.
Yeah, fresh out of the river, it's nice.
Gordon, too, is gearing up for a productive season ahead.
This is the moment of truth, Gordon.
It is the moment of truth, yes.
At its heart, it's a really simple process, isn't it?
Very simple process. It is not rocket science.
What have you learned about gold mining in the time that you've been doing it, Gordon?
It's hard work. Gold is where you find it.
And with it never being more lucrative.
Right, there's a shit ton in there. It's awesome. There you have it.
Yeah, there you have it.
He expects to see many more Kiwis out there going for gold this summer.
What we love about the Kiwi spirit, get out there and have a go, mate. Don't sit at home. Get out there, enjoy the scenery, enjoy nature, have a go, and if you like it, carry on. If you don't, well, good on you.
So if you want to have a go at finding some gold this summer, there are 19 public fossicking sites in the South Island, but, sorry, none in the north.